I thought that beef last year around this time was stupid. Oh my gosh. This takes stupidity to another level.
I love stupid beef.
Stupid beef of the beefs to have.
Stupid beef is fun beef.
Stupid beef is a good beef.
But you could make the argument that, well, never mind. It's too early. It's too early. Ask me my song.
What was?
Because it was a great song.
What was it?
Well, first, big news.
What?
I think I have our delete.
Oh, here we go.
Because I only listened to 20 seconds of it and I said I can't do this.
Okay,
it's a song called Dum De Dum by Keys and Crates.
Okay.
It's like an EDM song.
Okay.
Feels like something I probably heard. It came out in 2013, so I was in college. Definitely either heard it at a club or a rave. It does not need to have any purpose in my life anymore. It's bad. I'll delete it right now.
Delete it.
I'll delete it right now. And I was gifted by the music gods by choosing to delete the song by then getting... Shoulda had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. Hey, she hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low. Thank you, Flo Rida, for one of the greatest songs in my childhood.
I didn't get to Peanuts and Peanuts 2 and Elephant.
CJ, it's so bad.
I got to Island.
So bad.
I got to Island Holiday.
Also bad.
Everything up to Island Holiday, fine. It was fine.
I love that song that's sampled on Island Holiday. Like, you're on a holiday. I hate everything about that song on Carter 6.
Okay.
The Peanuts and, what is it?
Peanuts 2 and Elephant.
It's so bad. They have literal elephant sound effects.
Sounds?
It sounds like a circus track.
Now I got to go listen to it.
I saw somebody say it sounds like you're playing a level of Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And that should be in the back of it.
Oh.
It's not good. It's really not good. I got to that and I don't know anything after that because that was my last straw this morning. I had it on in the background.
You were almost
and
done.
I was like, why am I still listening to this?
Being Myself featuring Mandy Fresh. Moolah coming in. Alone in the studio with my gun.
Oh,
That's
what's up, everybody? It's Friday, June 6th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the Pacers did it again. A comeback win to steal Game 1 over the Thunder in OKC. We'll get into all the happenings from last night. Whitaker will join us to talk NBA Finals in the second segment. Other sports news yesterday. It was a quiet day yesterday. Aaron Rodgers, perhaps the biggest story of the afternoon before the Pacers beat the Thunder. He's officially going to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. We will get into that. We'll do some Music Friday, what we're listening to going into the weekend. I did listen to most of the Carter 6. I have new thoughts on the Miley Cyrus album. Also, Sabrina Carpenter has a new song. It's called Man-Child. It came out at the perfect time. It's a Friday. You know what we say. It's a Doge world. It's a Doge world. Hey. Is your child a natural-born entertainer? Now is their chance to join the most talented youth dance crew in the Mid-South, the Blue Bunch. The Blue Bunch entertains Grizz Nation with their energetic dance routines and even have the opportunity to collaborate on performances with leading artists in the entertainment industry. Kids ages 7 to 17 are invited to show off their skills and personality for their chance to join the next generation of NBA entertainers. Open auditions are Saturday, June 28th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Javon Evans might be the John Morant of the WWE. You ask me how do I say that? It's because Javon Evans is electrifying. He is viral. He does things you've never seen before. The most athletic guy you've never ever seen in the wrestling world. He reminds me of John in a wrestling ring. So Javon Evans, I'm proclaiming you on this day the John Morant of the WWE.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What the hell was that? What was that? How did you make that?
So Wednesday.
God, I love this job. I truly can never know what I will find myself witnessing on any day.
So Wednesday, we're doing Huddle, the Grind City Media subsidiary, and Jacob is directing it. And Jacob's like, CJ, I just found some random things in a random folder. It's like, okay, start throwing it up. And he threw up something that was just like a blue screen and some other stuff that looked like it was just terms and conditions. And then all of a sudden, that happened.
A monster hand
I was like, holy
reaches
hell,
out.
Jacob. What was that?
Is that the hand of the Indiana
And
Pacers snatching a victory yet again?
So there's more of those.
Are you going to surprise me with one every day? Are they
we
easy to
can.
access?
Jacob, yes, that's yes.
I want one.
It is pretty easy
Instantly.
to access.
That's incredible.
There are a whole bunch
That
of
is
different ways. So I guess
the
that's
greatest way I could have started
That's
my
how
Friday.
we're opening the show from
Just
now
a
on.
random
Just a random screen
transition
graphic
flag.
transitioning. Yes.
What kind of hand was that? Was that a dinosaur?
So
was that a Godzilla?
I always
was that
think about it as a velociraptor. Call it the
Called the
alien,
alien
hand. Throw it back.
hand.
Can you do it one more time? Can we get the title card back up and then you
perfect
you
for
snatch
the
it?
new documentary,
Yeah,
Alien
like-
versus Predator?
I guess
It kind of
always
looks like a
thought-
witch. No,
thought it was a
it's scaly.
dinosaur.
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay,
Keeps
all
you
right.
on your toes. That's exciting. Thank you for this beautiful start to my Friday. A happy Friday indeed. And yesterday was just absolutely wild because the Indiana Pacers led in game 1 of the NBA Finals for exactly 0.3 seconds. But it was the last 0.3 seconds, and that is all that matters. Put some mother bleeping respect on the Indiana Pacers this morning, CJ Hurt, because that was their 5th 15-point comeback of the postseason. They are 5-3 when trailing by 15 or more in the playoffs, and last night they did it again on the biggest stage yet against the biggest and baddest opponent yet as the Thunder joined the Bucks, the Cavs, and the Knicks as teams who have had to look the Indiana Pacers in the eye and say, what the Haliburton just happened? What the Haliburton? It's Tyrese Haliburton. He did it again. Another game-winning shot of this postseason. And so I ask you, CJ, let me get comfortable. Let me just kick my feet up. Please tell me again how this team is nothing but fluky.
I didn't say they were nothing but fluky. I said they did have fluky moments.
Thank you for being specific in your
Okay.
words. That's
All
on
right.
me.
All right. 1. 2. It's not like I don't appreciate the Indiana Pacers. All right. I do. I was attacked. I was caught off guard during the attack. And so I got on the defensive. And I forgot that one of the most important rules in sports and in life is it's better to be lucky than good. And the Indiana Pacers have had truly lucky moments.
As we go through them.
Before that, you have to have the moment where the ball slips through the dude's hands for the Bucks. And before this, you have to show great play. This is why they win, but you have to show him getting the offensive rebound, right? Like you have to show that. And then this, you have to show the Knicks being up by forever +2 in the fourth quarter, right? Tyrese Haliburton on a historic clutch run, truthfully, honestly. But I'm gonna say this, and I mean this with all sincerity. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I know it. But like on like, if you turn the ball over 25 times, 20 times in the first half, you're supposed to lose that game. Everybody loses that game, like on like. So that means 2 NBA teams playing, or 2 G League teams playing, or 2 WNBA teams playing. Hell, 2 college teams playing. I don't give a rat's ass if it's Duke taking on Alabama A&M on the men's side. I don't care if it's Townsend taking on South Carolina on the women's side. 2 D1 programs, one of them has 25 turnovers, 20 turnovers in the first half. That team is supposed to lose. High school, Memphis East versus Jackson Northside. Memphis East has 25 turnovers. Jackson Northside is supposed to win that game. Christian Brothers versus Macaulay. If Christian Brothers is the one with 25 turnovers, damn it, Macaulay is supposed to win that game. St. Agnes School for Girls versus Harpeth Hall. If Harpeth Hall is the one with 25 damn turnovers, St. Agnes is supposed to win that damn basketball game. You are not supposed to win basketball games turning the ball over 20 times in one half, 25 times total. That is what I mean. Pacers are winning these games that nobody else in history wins. Nobody else in basketball history will win these games. I don't know how it happens. I don't know why it happens. But damn it, if that's not fluky, I don't know what is.
I was going to say the big thing you were missing in all of your examples, which you eventually got to. None of those other teams that you listed, not St. Agnes, not Memphis East, not no one, is the Indiana Pacers. And I found myself thinking about your word of fluky from yesterday as I'm watching this transpire again. And truly, you're sitting there like, I cannot believe this is happening. Even though you've seen it happen 4 times, as it pertains to Tyrese Haliburton, 4 times in this postseason, he has had either a game-winning shot or a game-tying shot in the last 2 seconds. He has done it in every single round of the playoffs. But like you alluded to, it's not just Tyrese Haliburton, it's the entirety of this Indiana Pacers team. And when you get to a point where they are having 15-point comeback after 15-point comeback, late game, bizarre, how on earth is this happening, if not for witchcraft, if not for the Lord God above directly blessing the Indiana Pacers, if not for sacrificing Caitlin Clark and Anthony Richardson and RIP Jim Irsay, all for the Indiana Pacers to have this moment. But what I realized was it happens 1 time, it can be fluky. It happens 2 times, it's a pattern. It happens 3 times, it's comical. It happens 4 times, it's their identity. Like, this is the identity of the Indiana Pacers. No team had ever trailed by 9 points in the final 3 minutes of an NBA Finals game and won. But now at this point, if there is a team that does it again, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, you'll say, man, this team reminds me of the 2025 Indiana Pacers. Is there any team that the Pacers remind you? I saw somebody say they haven't felt like this watching a basketball team since the Cardiac Kemba UConn team. Like, that's the closest thing that you can get.
It. You don't get this in the pros.
No.
You don't. You only get this because to do it at least once in a couple of series, Cavs series, and I think Knicks series, I think they did it twice where it was, okay, you're not supposed to win this game. Why the hell are you leading right now at the end of it?
Thunder.
Right. You're in the NBA postseason, we all know it's a best of 7 every single round. In March Madness, men's and women's March Madness, it's 1 game. So you can get 1 game and have this type of run. And then you can maybe against a different opponent later on have another one of these. They're doing this in every single round, and they've played, 7 16, 17 games. I don't know how many games these dudes have played, but they've played them, and they've given you, what did you say, 4 or 5 of these? Like, you don't get this in the pros.
5 comebacks, 4 Haliburton, final 2 seconds, where it's like literally the last 2 seconds.
But it's not just the comebacks.
No.
It's the how are they doing this? Right? Like, how? Why? Why are you able to turn the ball over 25 times and not lead at all? Not lead at all until the last 0.3 seconds of the game. How are you able to do that and win games? How are you able to be down 8 points with 50 seconds left, 9 points with 50 seconds left? How are you able to be down like that and still come back and win these games? Right? Like that's not just you being good. That Pacers deserve to be here. I feel like yesterday it made it seem like I didn't think they deserved to be here. They absolutely deserve to be here. I just want to acknowledge how fluky it is that they got here and they continue to do fluky things. This is incredible.
I'm trying to see if there's another word from fluky.
Fortunate?
Because fluky
lucky?
means, like, the technical definition of fluky is obtained or achieved more by chance than skill. And I don't think it's a more by chance than skill. It's a great combination. It's a unique combination of chance and skill. Because, like, at the end of the day, yes, Tyrese Haliburton, in terms of, like, do we have to call Tyrese Haliburton the clutchest player in the NBA at this point going into next season? Because we always do that. Somebody has to be the most of something. And I do think that when you are a player making the NBA playoffs run into the finals run that Tyrese Haliburton has, like, he can get clutch tattooed and not have to worry about it because that's permanent at this point. That's how you're going to think of Tyrese Haliburton because he has the ball in his hands last night and you're like, certainly he can't do it again. And he does it again.
I turned the TV off. I was like, this game is over. I turned. Shea missed that shot and Tyrese
Great
had the ball
defense
coming
by
out.
Nemhard.
Tremendous. No.
And I loved when they
Naismith
brought up
and Nemhard.
yes, both of them.
I love the defense those dudes play on the perimeter.
But the Nemhard part of it, of him having so much history with Shea, right? Like, they played against each other in high school in Canada. They're on Team Canada together. And if there's somebody who can really know and identify, okay, this is exactly how Shea Gilgeous-Alexander operates in a way to get to the free throw line and constantly have the risk of drawing a foul. And Nemhard, like, played him close, played him tight, but didn't foul him. And that last possession, I thought, encapsulated everything.
Shea got, 30 points on 38 shots?
Yeah.
All right. Like, I think overall the defense on Shea was really, really good by the Pacers. And that's a part of it. I will also say, just random throwaway comment, probably should have been double technicals assessed at some point on Nemhard and Shea. They were pushing one another at one point. It's like, okay, you might want to step in here, ref, and keep control of this. But shout out to the refs who did a good job of not jumping the gun on that. 2 little light taps on shoulders. And then as Nemhard walks to the free throw line, the ref is following him and gets in between. He's like, yo, y'all kind of cut that out. But yeah, it's Shea wanted to be aggressive in that game. And I love the aggressiveness. I love the desire to be assertive and to leave your stamp on the game. I think, did Shea have 38 on 30 shots?
38 on 30.
38 on 30, right? He took like 7 or 8 shots too many.
Yeah.
And it's all right, Shea, you got to share the ball. The offense is getting stagnant. The offense is getting bogged down because you're the one forcing the issue.
They had 13 assists.
Like that's
a part of that was by design by the Pacers. And it's similar to what they did with the Cavs in funneling one player to take all the shots. And it was Shea. It was like, okay, we're going to let SGA go off for 40, but we're not going to let anybody else do that.
Was that or Shea just like, nope, my time to shine right now? Because to me, it felt like Shea was like, okay, I'm here, my time, let's get it.
Yeah,
that's how it felt to me. But we'll. You
want to know
see.
when I knew it was happening again? Like the moment I laughed and I said, "What if they do it again?" When Miles Turner hit the
bank three.
I was like,
the step.
the sorcery.
Was it a step back bank three?
It was an off the dribble,
yeah.
like pump fake off the dribble to the side, banked three. I was like, Miles Turner is not supposed to be hitting that shot.
I've only seen Obi Toppin make like 4 threes in his career, and he made 3 of them last night.
Yes.
Yeah, like
he hit 5 and 2 in the fourth quarter.
My goodness.
And he was so bad early on. You're like, get Obi Toppin off the court. Yeah. Like in terms of the turnover problem that happened instantaneously for this Pacers team, Obi Toppin had, I think, like 3 official in the first quarter, but felt like 5 that he was a part of, where you're thinking, oh, he's not going to be able to stay on the court. any of these guys, they were so rattled. I mean, everything was in, like you're saying, everything was in line for
They
the
had 20
Thunder
turnovers.
to win this game dominantly. And you're thinking, because what was the lead at half? Was it 12 at half for the Thunder?
It was a 9 to 13 point
Somewhere
game
in that
the
range,
entire
because they were missing
time
so many
until-
shots. Like
Yeah.
they had 20 forced turnovers, but they only had like 9 points off of those turnovers. And so many of the turnovers were dead ball turnovers versus live ball turnovers. So they weren't able to get out in transition. And then they were missing those opportunities. And you're thinking like, God, if the Thunder just start making their shots, they'll win this game. They took 16 more shots. The Thunder had 7 turnovers to the Pacers 25, took 16 more shots, and lost the game.
You tell me what
Again,
that...
it makes no...
Whatever adjective you want me to use, I'll use it. Fluky is the one I'm going with, but you tell me what that is. Because there's...
Fortunate, serendipitous.
It is.
Heaven sent. How about heaven sent?
I like serendipitous.
Serendipitous?
There's a whole lot of
Auspicious?
serendipity going on.
Propitious?
Who?
Propitious?
What?
Felicitous?
We can stop. I feel like we're
Convenient.
getting dangerous.
That was just a wild time. Also, like, shout out to that game, though. That was a big double birds to everybody who dared to say, oh, this finals is going to be boring, or, oh, nobody's going to care about these two teams. The teams cared. The game was awesome. I can't say the broadcast made it feel particularly enthralling.
I'm trying not to say mean things, even if they are true about the NBA and NBA broadcast,
Yes.
right? Because I feel like
It's
that's
an easy dunk.
And I feel like that's the only reason people are watching is to hate watch it.
That
Halftime show is so bad.
The whole packaging of it.
So bad.
Also, why is there, I get the actual why there's not a trophy on the court anymore, because
Why?
they were concerned with like the safety of the wood, I think.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I guess that's just something I heard once that I assumed
All of a
was the
sudden we
truth in
care
it.
about Tyrese? Okay.
But no, like the safety of the players playing on the wood, like when you're putting those, but they put that kind of design on the Emirates Cup court. They
Yeah.
put designs on courts all the time. You turn on that game, it looks like a damn regular season
Come on,
game.
man.
There is nothing special about it. Give me the cursive, give me the trophy, give me the Lario right there in the middle, so I know when I turn on ABC and I'm watching Pacers Thunder, it is very crystal clear, like, oh,
This is
the
different.
NBA
This
Finals
matters.
are here. Like we are entrenched in basketball. I had just a casual reminder of like, not everybody loves, lives, and breathes sports moment yesterday. Not everybody even knows it's the NBA Finals. But if somebody was running through their channels, they turn on that game, there's nothing that tells you this is a really important game.
And listen,
and
if
we're
you-
dumb as a society.
if
Like,
you-
you got to really make that thing sing.
If you don't want to, for player safety, whatever, I don't understand that. Everybody else was playing on it before now. Why can't they continue? Whatever, fine. Player safety, important, cool. We got stickers for Fantastic Four. We got stickers for John Wick, like the visual joints
Yeah.
on it. You could put those on there for the TV broadcast. The people in
It
arena,
screams capitalism like game one of the NBA Finals.
the people in arena, they're rocking out. They know what time it is. But I'm with you, and I think a lot of people feel this way. Got to make this feel like the finals. It doesn't.
The crowd made it feel like, but that's
crowd
just the
is-
Thunder crowd.
crowd
Like, I
is
feel like that
incredible.
would be the Thunder crowd. I'm convinced now, my AI crowd, my AI team, like that's how it is 365, 7 days a week. Like, that's just who they are.
Yeah.
The crowd was awesome. Obviously, the Thunder's defense is incredible. The swarm was out, but I do think the Pacers were rattled by the environment too early on in that game. And then next thing you know, they, just like they've done to every other fan base, they had the surrender cobra. There's one guy who, like, the ball is in Tyrese Haliburton's hands, and it shows the crowd behind him. And so there's still a couple seconds left on the clock. He hasn't even released it, gotten to a spot. And the guy's just like this. And you're like, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows what's coming. The Cobra. All right, we'll take a quick break. Lang Whitaker is going to join us on the other side. We'll get his thoughts on last night's win for the Pacers, what it means going forward, if this changes anyone's thoughts on the series at large. We'll get into that with Lang after a quick break.
What should the Grizzlies take away from this Western Conference Finals matchup?
The Grizzlies need more quality depth.
Not just depth, quality depth.
Well, what the Memphis Grizzlies can learn and take away from the Western Conference Finals is you can't talk about it, you got to be about it.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up at Open Call Auditions Saturday, July 26th at the Memphis Sports and Events Center. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Haliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Haliburton rank? Where does he rank?
Yeah, is there potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance
But
of
you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. All right, we are back. There was no claw that time. I'm disappointed. I'll save it for the beginning of shows. It is Friday. That means it's time for Lang Whitaker to join us in studio. Happy Friday, TGIF. How
Congrats
are you?
getting your car back. I'm good.
Thank you. It's a great week. It really, nothing but up. You got to spend all day on the internet yesterday. Got to watch a killer game
So I wasn't really
of the
into
NBA.
that whole internet fight with the political thing yesterday.
That's okay.
Because I was like, I've seen Twitter fights. You know,
whatever.
like I think for a lot of people, like especially people in politics, they're not used to seeing like a.
It's
back
fine.
and forth.
If you don't want to be part of the Chronically Online community, that's okay.
No,
Yesterday
I'm
on
online.
Twitter was literally like we don't have to spend a ton of time on this. It was
We can talk about it.
easily top 5 day on Twitter.
Just because of
Easily.
the Trump Musk stuff.
Yeah, because of it's not even them going at it with each other, although that's what starts it.
And one of them's not
but then
even
it's
on
the
Twitter.
responses
Yeah, those are
of
funny.
everybody else reacting to it. Like there have been days on that app, and as somebody who recently really gave up like my traditional usage of Twitter because I was just spending too much time
you
on
went
it.
over to the Blue Sky. No, the
No, I just
Threads.
I'm a little bit on Threads,
Thread
but I was
que-
just trying not to
the
be on
Thread
social
queen.
media as much in general. And yesterday, it was an interesting experience because I'm not on it on my phone at all. I kind of give myself an hour for work purposes to jump on, or during a game, I'll get on it on my laptop. But Jacob texted me and CJ, seeing if we were like tapped in on it. And I ended up calling my husband. I was like, why didn't you tell me this was happening? Like, this is the kind of day I want to be on this app. And he's like, well, I sent you like 20 DMs. And I'm like, not helpful because I don't get notifications on this. So I was like 3 hours late to it and catching up. But I laughed so hard. Like I was trying to think of the days that I've laughed the hardest on Twitter. That was one. The day that everybody determined Luigi was hot was a pretty epic day on the internet. The Hawk Tua girl has been a thing. The 100 men versus one gorilla has been a thing. But in terms of just an event that is happening, the day Queen Elizabeth, R.I.P. to Queen Elizabeth, but like the responses to that were wild.
The two guys got in the fight during the NBA playoffs. The two like fans, a fan of the Lakers and the other guy.
Meet me in Tacoma.
He said, "Meet me in."
That wasn't a playoff. That was Temecula.
Meet me in Temecula.
Yeah, that
and
was.
The guy actually drove to Temecula and posted photos along the way and stuff. Like,
yes, I always think of the woman who. Do you remember the woman who tweeted a really horrible thing? She was like on her way to Africa, and she tweeted, God, I'm going to butcher what it was, but it was essentially like, I'm going to Africa, I hope I don't get AIDS. And she was fired by the time she landed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she tweeted it, she went in the sky, she didn't have Wi-Fi. Everybody else was starting to tweet, like, I think her name was Janine, like, has Janine landed? That was a top tier day on Twitter.
The slap.
The slap was
This is the best since the slap.
The top tier. The Four Seasons landscaping was a great
Yeah.
day. Finding out that the Pope was American was a recently very funny day on the internet space. Like every now and then, the app is such a cesspool. Like that, just social media in general. But sometimes we all come together to giggle through it all, and I appreciate a communal laugh. And yesterday was one of those.
Do you think you got verified on the Twitter?
I've been verified for a.
I was, and then they took it away.
Oh,
now you have to
right.
pay for it.
Yes.
But you re-upped.
I did because I was trying to grow our show.
Do you think it's worth it or no?
No, honestly, and I've thought about. I'm like the lowest tier of it, and I actually like genuinely
$10 a
hate
month.
giving money into it. I truly did it from a sense of like pulling the curtain back.
Yeah.
Your tweets get buried
Yeah.
if you don't have it because of how Elon navigates the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's supposed to reward people who pay into the system, and we were in the process of trying to like get this show more views, and I thought, I have to do this in order
You don't
to
have to
make
defend
this.
yourself.
No, but it felt gross.
I
I
have a
didn't like
Tesla.
doing it. I know you do. Do you feel more at risk of your Tesla now that there are
No.
people on both sides who could come and
No.
smash
Now it's
that
an
window?
equal opportunity. Like, I'm good. Whatever.
Yeah, it's but there was that. It was the Aaron Rodgers piece of it, which we'll get into, and then you're rewarded with a really fun game one. And that game starts, and with all the turnovers, you're thinking, oh god, this could wrap it up. This could be a short series.
Before we get to that, the other thing that happened for me yesterday, Braves fan, the Braves blew a 7-run lead in the 9th inning and lost yesterday. 7 runs in the 9th inning. So, and then after the game, the Braves immediately cut the pitcher who was in there in the 9th inning, who's been one of their best pitchers. Like, we don't have a lot of good pitchers.
Yeah.
This guy's been one of the best. He had a bad game, okay. But they waived him as soon as the game ended yesterday and brought up Craig Kimbrell, who hasn't pitched in the majors in years, who's been in the minors grinding away. So for Braves fans, yesterday was already like a disaster on Twitter, like when all that crap was happening. And then, you know, the other stuff happens, Trump Musk stuff, and then the game happens last night. For most of that game, I didn't think the Pacers were going to win, even when there was like 0.4 seconds left in that game. And so just watching the whole game thinking, all right. And then it happens at the end, and you're like, oh, great. This is why we watch sports.
And they're like coming back at the end, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I guess this is a good sign. All the turnovers considered, the placement of it, being in OKC, a place that Thunder just don't lose, except for now twice in the postseason. And you're like, at least they put up a good effort. And then you're, holy shit, they won the game. It's incredible, and to see the scenes it's why we play the game. Not to dig into a cliche, but we can all sit here and think this is logically what is going to happen in this series. But then you get a team like the Pacers that just defies logic at every turn of this postseason.
I was so impressed with the way the Pacers just kept plucking away.
Yep.
And they were down. They couldn't get a call. They would get the ball down by the basket, get slapped on every arm, ball goes out of bounds, turnover. I mean, say what you want about Shea. He only shot like 8 free throws, I think, last night, which for him is minuscule. But the Thunder were like flopping on screens and picks and everything. That was half those turnovers in the first half was like illegal screens or things like that. The play where Lou Dort just ran into Miles Turner and fell on the ground. Foul on Miles or set Siakam. So there's a bunch of that stuff that was going on, and the Pacers just never gave up. And even in that fourth quarter, I think like they've done it so much now at this point that they just have this irrational belief in themselves. They're like,
well, it goes as far
doesn't
as
matter.
Rick
We'll
Carlisle
come
not
back.
calling a timeout, which is smart for 2 reasons. One, because you don't want the Thunder and their vaunted defense to be able to get set to make the necessary personnel substitutions, get like the perfect situation for them. But then also, he trusts his guy or guys. Like it's turned into Haliburton is the one who takes the shot, but it's all the players leading up to that. They have these players who by no means do you expect them to come up in the clutch. Tyrese, at this point, you do. But you're getting threes from Nembhard. You're getting the threes from Nesmith. We talked about the Miles Turner banked 3 at one point. Obi Toppin making 5 threes in the game last night.
5 turnovers in the first quarter.
God, so bad early on. And that was the thing. Like, how dare any member of the Pacers even think about putting the ball on the court because it just there was someone with the Thunder there to like sneak attack on the side. They do not always slap at the arms. They play a physical brand of basketball, but they are just incredibly
How do you think the ball gets loose?
feisty. They hit
How about the play
ball.
where who was it? Miles Turner or no? Mathurin went up for the shot, and Hartenstein slaps his wrist.
And they did the
They challenged it.
That was a stupid challenge.
And then even
That was
after
an
the
absolute
challenge,
dumb
you could see Mathurin standing at the free throw line, Hartenstein being, that wasn't a foul. And Mathurin's like, did you see
Speaking of Hartenstein, do you feel like
Caruso
Dagnall,
might as well. Caruso is just Italian for this.
do you feel like Dagnall got too cute going with the lineup change early
playing,
on by
who's
playing
the-
Case
he
and
played,
Wallace?
No, he played another guy I
Well,
hadn't
yeah,
even
he
heard of.
played I can never think of his
AJ
name.
Mitchell,
I'm
is that
sorry,
his
AJ
name?
Mitchell,
Yeah.
from
UCLA?
UC Santa Barbara.
Somebody,
no, UC
yeah.
Santa Barbara.
He played. I'd
Or
never
Santa
heard of
Clara,
this guy. I'm
one of-
like, what is this?
I remember when we played them, I was talking to their radio crew,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, this guy's has a lot of promise. And I'm like, oh, great, another one. And then
Yeah.
he's throwing him for 2 minutes early on. But
Yeah.
obviously the decision to go small off the bat.
I mean, it seemed like it worked. He forced 20 turnovers in the
Sure.
first half. I
I thought Miles Turner was really impressive. I mean, you can say
He was
it worked,
great,
but they
yeah.
also got out rebounded 56-39.
Well, I mean, there were so many plays where the ball would get tipped like 2-3 times, and then it would just go to the Thunder. You know, there was one play where the Pacers had 4 guys under the basket. Somebody missed a shot, and Caruso was the one Thunder player, and he tipped it out, and everybody else on the Thunder was already getting back, so they were able to grab it. I thought the other thing with Rick Carlisle at the end of the game where he didn't call a timeout, and I saw people on Twitter positing, like, he didn't call a timeout because he saw that Dort wasn't on Haliburton. But the only reason Dort wasn't on Haliburton was because Nembhard was cooking that whole fourth quarter, and you had to stop him somehow. Because Haliburton kind of took a back seat for like the last 6 minutes of that game until the very last play of the game when he took over again.
Tyrese didn't have a good game. He didn't.
No.
What, he finished with 14 points? Or
14, 10, and 6.
Yeah.
But it's part of that egalitarian system of the Pacers.
And even with Tyrese not having a good game, this is my stance. We've talked about it. Usually we talk about it come late February, March, and during the madness.
Yeah.
You got 8 seconds on the clock, 10 seconds. Just run something. Don't call a timeout. Just in the scramble, trust your guys to go out there and get a bucket. And even though he was struggling, there was no doubt in Carlisle's mind, clearly because he didn't call a timeout. And I think there was very little doubt in the NBA community about what was going to happen, who was going to take the shot, the quality of shot that it was going to be right. It was going to be Tyrese Haliburton taking a shot, and it was going to be a good look. 8 seconds left, you got to be able to, without calling a timeout, get the ball to your playmaker's hand and let them make a play. And Tyrese Haliburton, you talked about it in the earlier segment, Jessica, clutchest player in the game right now. You have to say that. With the way he's playing this postseason, you have to just acknowledge the fact that he is the clutchest dude in basketball right now.
They didn't even run a play. You
don't have to run a play when you got
to
to run
Haliburton
Tyrese.
and cleared it out and let him
Yeah.
just go back and forth and get the shot off.
Run the Hallie. Does your son run around saying, what the helly?
No, but as soon as the game ended, he was like, I got to get those shoes.
Oh, really?
Because you saw Haliburton, he
Yeah.
wore his new Pumas.
Yeah.
which are designed
You're
by.
telling me Haliburton's going to bring Pumas back?
No, I don't think he is. No, I mean,
I wanted Pumas in 6th grade. I remember the first time I ever wanted a pair of Pumas.
Kids
all
actually,
the girls were wearing them.
Kids actually are into Pumas now because LaMelo Ball is a Puma guy, and so like I think from like if the age of like 14 up, you're kind of like yeah. But like when I go watch my son's games, there's a lot of kids who wear Pumas, but Haliburton might help. You know, those shoes he was wearing are designed by Salehe Bembury, who did the Crocs. He did like the Pollux Crocs, the ones that have like the lines on it. And he's a very kind of hip designer. Puma brought him in to do the Haliburton line and to be the creative director of like the Puma stuff.
Oh, cool.
So like there's actually like an element of cool stuff there.
Okay.
I tweeted before the game. I was like, hopefully for Haliburton, debuting a pink purple shoe in Game 1 in OKC doesn't go as poorly as it did for some other players. When Ja broke out the Ja threes in Game 1 and we lost by 1,000 points. Yeah. So and after the game, I was like, well, it didn't. Like, that worked out. If you're going to debut a shoe, that's a pretty good way to do it.
So because we know this Thunder team, as of the entirety of the season, as of the playoffs, has last night changed your overall anticipation for the rest of the series? What was your original take?
I had said 5 or 6.
Okay.
I said the Thunder in 5 or 6. I mean, that was sort of the same thing that happened in Game 1 against Denver,
Nuggets,
right?
yes.
It was almost the exact same script.
And what did the Thunder do?
Yeah,
bounce back and beat them by
floored them the
40
rest of the way.
points.
And I think the Thunder will be fine. The guy who I was kind of surprised played pretty badly last night was Chet Holmgren. He missed a lot of shots. Didn't really seem to fit
didn't have
in the
that-
style of the game. Like,
there
just
was
wasn't
no
there.
oomph, for lack of a more official
and I don't
word.
know if that's because, as the Thunder kept trying to go small, play Jalen Williams at the 5 and stuff, like in Indiana was like, all right, fine, we're going to play Miles Turner.
Right.
We're going to go with this big lineup. And Chet kind of was stuck in the middle of all that and didn't really seem to have a flow to that game last night. I think he's the guy who'll probably bounce back. Because we saw him in those Denver games, have those games where he hit 4 3-pointers and go on a little run by himself. Like, I think he's got that still in him.
Yeah, I am curious if they stick with the...
I do want the Pacers to win, though.
I think I do too, which is a change. Like, I was actually in a position where, let me be perfectly clear, I don't really care, which is my favorite way to watch a series because then something like last night happens and it's just true for the love of the game fun. Like, that is my favorite way to watch sports. But then I do, my other favorite way to watch sports is rooting for the funniest thing possible to happen.
Yeah.
And at this point, the funniest thing possible would probably be for the Pacers to
sweep
actually, yes,
That'd
to
be
sweep them would
hilarious.
be insane.
Leading for less than 5 seconds total in the NBA
Would
Finals.
be insane.
That would be the Pacers' way to do it.
There is something, Chris sent it to me today, like the actual probability, and you know
I
how
saw
much I
that.
love math, but the Pacers have a win in every round with a 0.3% probability of winning, a 2.1% probability of winning, a 4.1% probability of winning, and a 2.6% probability of winning. And the odds of all 4 of those games going the Pacers' way was 0.000000676. That's 1 in 1.5 million of a chance that the Pacers would have gotten that
You know
win.
what? I thought it was over on that play where Siakam was trying to save the ball in the corner and he gets shoved out of bounds, and the Pacers challenged it. And on the replays, you see, I think it was Case and Wallace just plow into him a couple of times, and then they were like, no proximate foul, out of bounds, Thunder ball. And I was like, oh, all right, well,
I was
okay.
glad that they went that
See what we're
direction.
doing
I
here.
thought it was over when Jalen Williams had the steal. That put him up 15, which is stupid on me because I should have seen the Pacers going down 15 as the ultimate, oh, this is not over moment. But it was another steal. It was like the way that the Thunder were able to get in just about every passing lane. It's just, that's what makes it so wild. The last 3 minutes of a game for them, they just transform into a world beater, and they make the team they're playing look like a pumpkin.
It's sort of
to a degree, like even Shea missing that last shot.
Yeah,
that was a makeable shot. That was his moment of a shot, and instead
it's
he
sort of
misses and there it
self-perpetuating
goes.
too, because now the Pacers, they've seen it. They know they can do this, and the more times this keeps happening, because like Haliburton's now hit a game winner in every series of the playoffs. Like the more times this keeps happening, now they're down 15 in OKC, and they're like, all right, cool, like we got this. There's
a steadiness to it that absolutely continues. By far not the most important thing from last night, but it was a conversation around the NBA space. How can they make it feel more important? And we were talking about this going into the break, and then we continued the conversation. And I think a part of the reason it's so stark to not have the trophy on the court and to not have it just feel big is because we are indoctrinated by the Super Bowl, which does pageantry better than anyone else, the Final Four, the college football national championship, even a random Saturday in SEC country does a better job of game presentation, it feels, than the NBA. And it's such an easy thing to criticize right now, and I know it kind of becomes this like herd mentality of this has to be better. But I did find myself last night thinking, like, if I'm just a casual fan, I'm having a hard time getting drunk on the NBA Kool-Aid. The
thing is, all those things you mentioned, the Super Bowl, the Final Four, the college football championship game, all those are neutral site things. The NBA Finals is going to have to be on a home court, right?
Yes.
So it's harder to like transform a home arena court into something other than it already is, right? So I saw a lot of people complaining about like there wasn't a patch on the jerseys anymore. There used to be, it was on the back. It was over like above the name on the back of the jersey. They can't put it on the front anymore because they got ads on there now.
Right. So they can't put the trophy on the court because they have too many ads.
Yeah, there's too many. They got to have room for the Skims ad on the court. So it's hard. Like there's certain limitations to it. The thing that makes it also difficult is like the announcing crew, all that stuff. It's exactly the same as it was all season. The pregame show, the announcers, everything else looks the same.
Well, now we got a Shaq cameo on the pregame show, which was like a wild jump scare.
Well, there was also like just the shot of pregame, Stephen A, Perk, Malika Andrew, all those people like, all right, is this a Tuesday night in Cleveland or is this the NBA Finals? It's hard to like separate that. I flipped over to ESPN an hour before the game thinking, oh, cool, like they'll have pregame stuff. And like they had like the women's softball,
it was the softball
thing on, which is cool too.
It was an awesome game
in
and
the
they
same
won.
City.
Oklahoma was the sports capital of the world last night, and Texas Tech came back. That pitcher, the $1 million pitcher Kennedy, she threw every pitch again.
109 pitches.
Withheld a comeback from Texas. So they get game 3 tonight.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm going to watch.
I think I will too. Is the Stanley Cup game 2 tonight?
I believe it is, yeah. I believe it's Wednesday, Friday.
This is the good time of year.
Yeah,
I am a little peeved that the game 2 of the NBA Finals is on Sunday. This is just a personal problem. It conflicts with the Tony Awards, and I feel like that's incredibly rude, given that they conditioned us to go every other night, and then suddenly they're like, oh, we will give them 2 nights off, and then it conflicts with my most anticipated award show night of the year. But no, it was a good night last night.
We talked about it on the Odds Couple yesterday.
The Tony Awards?
Yeah, I did. Because we talked about what championship in sports is the hardest one to win. Because Fish thinks that the College World Series is one of the hardest ones to win because you have to play so many games and you play random teams and there's a lot of stuff to it. So we did our list of the top 5 hardest championships to win, each of us. I had the EGOT in mind.
Yes. And which of the EGOT is the hardest?
I think all of them.
Win.
But because you have to be, it's like winning the Super Bowl of 4 different mediums, right? It's really hard. You got to win all these different things. I was argued down on the EGOT because you don't get an actual. There's no trophy for the EGOT.
No, it's just
it's like ceremonial.
Understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you agree? Like that's got to be one of the hardest things to win.
Yes, that's why we don't have.
I had the spelling bee. I had Miss America pageant. I had a few different things, but.
We have 21 people in the history of the world of entertainment who have achieved EGOT status. Yeah. And nowadays, you'll get some people who get the Grammy one by being like the voice person, or you'll get someone who acts as a producer on a random thing. So that always feels, but like true performers who perform in all 4 of the categories is always a very incredible feat.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the Tonys. Hey, something that will not win an EGOT. I saw in your Grind City Media newsletter, we had similar thoughts on the Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, it was terrible. Did you see it? Yeah. Oh, it was so bad.
I was so excited.
It was hilarious.
I
mean, I was
laughed out loud
the
multiple
whole time.
times.
The part where he goes in there and I wrote it in the thing, where they have him try on the diving suit, and he's like, "How is this able to breathe deep underwater?" And the other guy goes, "It uses an exotic mixture of inert gases." Mm-hmm. And I went, and everyone sitting within 3 rows turned and looked at me.
I really wanted to
Didn't it feel like the movie was written by AI?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like we gave it these prompts.
The stunts were cool. I thought the plane stunt was cool. It was long as hell. They let that thing roll. The whole movie was too long. But yes, the script itself was
The plane caught on fire
Very
at one point and
kitschy.
starts to crash, and then he restarts it and puts the fire out, and I was like, no!
It's gonna
I thought
continue
we were going to get
going.
out of this. Come
yeah,
on.
it was a wild. And then when he's out of the submarine too, that whole scene is
That's when
a
I went
wild
I went out to get
experience.
I was like, I got to go to the
No, you
bathroom.
would've laughed at that
I went out
one,
and just
too.
hung out at the snack bar for like 15 minutes. I was like, I
Needed a break.
don't need to be in
I checked
this.
my phone
It
3
was
times
so
during
long.
it, and I was really.
You know what I do
upset about it.
when I'm in a movie like that and it's like feels like interminable?
Yeah.
I'll go to Wikipedia and look up the plot.
Oh, that's horrible.
But just see how far I am. Like it gives me an idea of like, all right, I know there's only one paragraph left of this to get through the end of this. I did it during Mission Possible.
Like looking at a playbill.
Yeah.
It's the same
Okay,
thing.
Fine, I do that. Done that my whole life.
Although the playbill doesn't give you the ending.
No, it just tells you how many songs are left. I guess if
But
you were,
that's sort of what it
I
does.
always followed it from a like, ooh, I'm excited. I wonder what song is next. But I get some people would be sitting at a play.
If you were
or
at a play you
musical and
hated,
be like,
you'd probably
oh
be
God, how many
looking at
songs do we have
yeah.
left in this thing? All right, thanks, Lang,
All right.
as always, for joining
Appreciate
us.
y'all.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into more of the sports action from yesterday. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. A little look ahead at Game 2 between the Thunder and the Pacers. That's when we come back.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today. The Grizzlies, grannies, and grandpas have the right moves and are currently looking for new members to join their team for the upcoming season. These soulful seniors are a fan favorite group throughout Grizz Nation. You do not have to be a grandparent, but you must be at least 50 years old with personality, rhythm, and passion for performing. If that sounds like you, then we want to see you on Sunday, June 29th. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information.
Bain drives. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead. Yeah! Jarrett with a knockaway. Good defense. Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting. That's no show. Let's go.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
CP the franchise. Do we hate the Pacers?
Of course. I hate Haliburton. I hate Reggie. I hate the Pacers. I hope.
Yeah, where does Haliburton rank?
Is he
Where's he rank?
Yeah, is
for
there
sure?
potential for him to be more hated than Reggie by the end of this series?
If you start flipping
Yes.
it all off, for sure.
Yes. Well, first of all, they're built the same. They damn near look the same. You know what I mean? He's like reincarnated Reggie Miller.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Jalen Wells is in studio right now. You took on tough, if not the toughest defensive assignment. When did you realize that would be your role?
And that's what I was working towards since training camp. I was trying to guard Dez. I was trying to guard Ja whenever I could, even if they're blowing by me, overpowering me. I really didn't care, because I was a rookie. So it's like, that's what's going to happen to a rookie.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Last week, I gave you the update about my son Kevin in terms of having to choose.
Has he made the decision?
He picked Tennessee State.
Oh, my heart, Mike.
The next day, we got an email from the director of Tuskegee's program laying out everything that they were going to be doing, and he flip-flopped.
There we go.
He flip-flopped. So he's going to be going down to Tuskegee.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Important Matters of Business. Number one, I have to give a word definition because my husband texted me. You have said egalitarian 2 days in a row, and I have to say something. Egalitarian? I have no idea what that means. He accuses me of using too big of words for hosting a general pop show. To which I say, learn them. Get a dictionary. Pull out the dictionary. Go to E. Sound it out. Go to your computer.
That's why people tune into the show. They tune in.
Do you know what egalitarianism means?
Use it in a sentence.
You know what egalitarianism means.
Got to use it in a sentence. Like, how would you use it?
I mean, it's a structure.
How did you use
political philosophy? I said the Pacers are egalitarian because they
sharing.
are the definition of egalitarian.
Sharing it around.
It's like the belief that everybody in a group deserves equal and deserves equal rights and opportunities.
Yeah.
Which is a very controversial thing in the political philosophy sphere. But there's also the idea that when you have an egalitarian society, it takes away from individual attributes or also keeps somebody
individual
from
greatness.
Yeah,
Is it hard for you to
it keeps
achieve
merit-based things. It's more like a uniform. Everybody does the same thing. Everybody gets a trophy. But I don't mean it in that way with the Pacers. I just mean that they very much exist outside of a traditional ego-driven sports system where they are really in a position of sharing is caring. Power.
That's what we want in sports. Right?
Sure.
We want the team. The team comes first. What's good for the team? If I don't get my stats, it's fine as long as the team wins.
Yes.
If you have a guy, and this goes to how these teams are built also, and how teams are built in the NBA. It seems like most NBA teams say, hey, we've got to get a guy. And once we get that guy, it is that guy and that guy alone who's going to carry us through. Yes. And I think that a lot of teams in this league would benefit from a more egalitarian way of doing things, right? The Timberwolves immediately come to mind. Whereas, yes, Anthony Edwards, tremendous basketball player. He's a tremendous is hard. He is a good basketball player. Does he have to be the guy? I would say no. I would say you can win games and win series, and they have, with Anthony Edwards not having the statistical dominance that you think of when you think of somebody who is that dude. And I will also say my frustration is when you force him to be that dude, he's not, and you end up losing. I think a more egalitarian sort of way of doing things would help them out tremendously. And that's just one of a long list of teams. And the Pacers, while Siakam is good, while Tyrese Haliburton is good, while Miles Turner is good, it's not like they're saying, hey, we're going to force feed this dude the ball to get him going. No, it is, all right, Tyrese is off, let's find somebody else to pick up the slack. Now, you have to have the supporting cast, and this is why I think it works with the Timberwolves, because I think they do have the supporting cast to say, all right, we can let some of these other dudes try. They can get the job done. Also, Naya, I'm going to see you later, kid. Go ahead and start getting dressed. We're going to party all day. Yeah, just somebody. But yeah, Timberwolves, listen, if we're looking ourselves in the mirror here, we're having tough conversations. Maybe Memphis could benefit some from a more egalitarian approach to doing things, where it is not so one player driven. Where
they tried to do that though, and they called it the All Lives Matter offense this year.
Hey, right?
Just saying.
You have to get better players around the
Fair.
Like that.
You
That's
can't
that's
just
the
say
thing.
Go be egalitarian. It has to be every single person is of equal access of being able to play the lead at any given time.
I didn't know that they called it the All Lives Matter offense.
Yeah, it was the running joke.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I wish I had known that. I would have been. That's all I would have called it.
The DEI offense.
But no, if you got better players, you can do that sort of thing, and then it takes pressure. So that when Ja Morant is out, or when Jaren is having foul trouble, or when Desmond is having an off game, you can look around and say, oh, okay, somebody else on this team is here stepping up, filling in, and then boom, late game scenario, then that ball finds Ja Morant's hand. And then Ja Morant closes the game. Everybody can call 12, and we can all celebrate. Tyrese Haliburton, again, had a down game by his standards and by the standards of somebody you think of when you say, oh, that's an all-NBA player, that's the clutchest player in the league. He had a down game. They still won, and they won in part because he had that clutch moment. Right? Having to not carry the entire load can be beneficial for star players on teams.
Absolutely. Other big news yesterday, Aaron Rodgers finally has his home officially. He signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It literally could not have come at a funnier time as Elon Musk and Donald Trump broke out into a Twitter fight. Like, truly a hilarious, unintentional news dump moment for Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, that just added to the entirety of the beautifulness of being on the internet yesterday. And for somebody who refused to entertain the where is Aaron Rodgers going to play next season conversation for the entirety of the offseason until it eventually got to the official, oh, this is where Aaron Rodgers is going to play, I felt like it was the cherry on top of the situation because it happened and then no one even really, people talked about it. There are shows that will focus on it. There are NFL-focused shows that will focus on it. But the internet kind of like did a drive-by and said, ha, that's funny, and moved right along. Now, Aaron Rodgers is the choice for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I never thought that it was really a question if he was going to end up there because certainly the Steelers would have done something else if the expectation was not for Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback. Next year, they went out, they got DK Metcalf, got their big bad receiver, needed a quarterback who they believe in. And that's the key. Like, they believe that Aaron Rodgers can come in. And I know everyone is constantly chasing, and particularly the Steelers, chasing the idea of a 40-plus-year-old quarterback having one last go like Tom Brady had when he was in Tampa Bay and wins a Super Bowl. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is Tom Brady. I don't think the Steelers is that Bucs team, but we will see. We will see if he proves me and many others wrong that there is still enough in the tank.
I just question what that quarterback locker room is going to be like. You have Aaron Rodgers, who is a free thinker, so I'm assuming he is supporting all free thinkers. And then you have Mason Rudolph, who was seen wearing the red hat where all the red hat people wear. Why are we still doing rallies? He already won the election. What are we rallying for exactly? But he was there with the red hat people.
Yes.
And so if Aaron Rodgers is a free thinker and Mason Rudolph is a red hat, I assume that there might be some cultural clashes in the locker room.
Is the question.
I think he's a red hat.
What's Skylar Thompson?
Skylar sounds like a free thinker.
Free thinker.
Red hats.
We were just musing, like, where's Aaron? Like, where do his allegiance? I think there's a lot of people having to make really difficult internal decisions. I get it. Like, this happens where, you know, some of your faves fight. I had it with Patty LuPone and Audra McDonald last week. You know, if we're trying to compare two situations of the girls getting messy and the claws coming out, I got to stand with Audra McDonald. I felt like I had to make a choice, you know? So sometimes you got to step up. You can't play down the middle. You have to pick your side. So you're right. This could affect the Steelers' feng shui of their locker room.
The over-under win total for the Pittsburgh Steelers was 8.5, and I think it still is 8.5. If Russell Wilson was your starting quarterback, would you take the over on the other win total, 8.5 for the Steelers?
Under.
If Justin Fields was the quarterback.
I'm a Justin Fields truther, so over.
Aaron Rodgers.
Under. What are we doing?
I don't.
Here?
That is. I think that is the truest reason why.
And you have the third worst quarterback in your division. That's the other piece of this.
But you weren't going to be able to get a better quarterback.
No. But you could have had someone who at least flirted. You got to take a swing on it.
We don't make Joe Burrows and Lamar Jacksons. We don't do that.
Well, did it? Okay, wait. Wasn't it? Was it not? What draft did Burrow come in on? Was the year that the Steelers decided to double down on Roethlisberger the Burrow draft?
Yeah.
So, like, you made your choice.
I mean, they could have let go of Ben Roethlisberger a long time ago. That's what the Patriots have done or did during the Belichick years, and why he wanted to get rid of Tom Brady before this moment happened or before the Roethlisberger moment happened. But I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise felt a loyalty to Aaron Rodgers. It's not Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, the same way like the Mavericks felt one to Dirk, or the Lakers felt one to Kobe, or the Spurs felt with Tim Duncan, where it is, hey, we just don't want you to leave. You're ours. You're going to retire here, and we'll pay you, and we'll let you ride this thing out into the sunset. The Giants with Eli Manning, another one of those type situations. And it's going to be hard for him. It's going to be tough for him to find a quarterback on that level like greatest in this generation type level. We just don't make a whole lot of those. And so you're going to have to find ways to win the game. And in order to win, if you take care of the football and you control time of possession, and when it's called upon, much like Tyrese Haliburton last night, going back to that game, when you're called upon to win the game, can you go out there and do it? Yeah. Aaron, can you play field positioning with us, time of possession with us, and then 4 minutes left in the game, it's 13-10. Can you get us in scoring range, and can you score a touchdown with 3 minutes left, 2.5, minute 45, right? Can you do that? And that's what Aaron Rodgers will be called upon to do.
And from a grander standpoint, because I saw some of the assumed response to how this entire situation played out. Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't gain himself any new fans in Pittsburgh with how this scenario dragged out. But the only way he'll gain himself new fans, I don't even think it's regular season success. The entire thing is getting a playoff win if you're the Steelers, something that you have not done in 8 years. Like, you have been good enough. You have not been able to win a game in the playoffs. And I feel like this is an entire gamble on believing that not only can Aaron Rodgers be what you just described in achieving more than an 8-win season, in keeping Mike Tomlin in a winning season category, he has to be able to get it done in the playoffs. And historically, Aaron Rodgers has had moments in the playoffs. Never the biggest of the big, obviously won, but he has fallen short in other opportunities on that. I just don't believe in 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers coming off of his Achilles tear and everything else. I don't think Aaron Rodgers necessarily wanted to play for the Steelers. I think he was forced to play for the Steelers because nobody else wanted to take any real estate in the Aaron Rodgers hunt this time of year.
When it became apparent,
in his career.
When it became apparent, that's where he was going to have to go. He was like, okay, I'll get there when I get there.
Right, I'll take my time. I'll get there by OTAs,
I'm in no rush to be there
camp.
Before I absolutely have to be there. And if you're the Steelers as a franchise and Coach Mike Tomlin, I guess you're looking at this 1-year rental, and then we'll figure out the quarterback position after that. But if you're good enough to get to the playoff, and that's what you have to be going for if you're the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, right? Winning record, cool, that's fine, that's fun. But we got to get to the playoffs. We've got to get wins in the playoffs. And if you have that type of a season where you're winning a game or games in the playoffs, well, you're going to be drafting later in the first round. Eventually, you're going to have to say, all right, we're going to have to go all in on a quarterback of some notable regard. We just are. So we might have to give up an asset here or there to go out there and make it happen, either by drafting a young rookie quarterback or by going out and trading for a good quarterback. Because when's the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a good quarterback? 13, 14, 15, right? Like that. It's been a while. I'm just throwing those years out. Somebody tell me in the chat the last time Ben Roethlisberger, because that was the last good quarterback
year that he was good.
It might have been the year D'Angelo retired. And how long ago was that with the Killer Bees on that team? That was an eternity ago in a sports standpoint, from a sports standpoint. So eventually you've got to go out there and get a good one. It's going to be hard to get a generational one without taking a step back win-wise in the regular season, either before you get him in order to draft him early, or once you draft him, you trade up to draft him, you end up starting him and he struggles the first season, because that's what rookie quarterbacks are known to do.
As opposed to what veteran quarterbacks, if they stay healthy, obviously we had the notorious Aaron Rodgers in, Aaron Rodgers out moment as he tears his Achilles, but like with Russell Wilson last year, you'll get those fool's gold games where you get these visions, because it's not like a professional athlete is just zapped of all their powers immediately. It's a process. And so you'll see these games where you're like, oh, that's vintage Aaron Rodgers. And vintage Aaron Rodgers is arguably in his prime better than Russell Wilson, better than Ben Roethlisberger. Like, he is one of those very, very good into the great category of quarterbacks. And so you'll see like a little piece of it, but then they can't have the sustainability of it through the entirety of a season. And then it just it withers. It doesn't disappear. It withers slowly.
And a good quarterback is hard to trade for, because you got at least a good one. You're keeping that around. So I don't know who you guys consider a good quarterback. I know Jessica considers Justin Herbert a good quarterback.
Shut
right?
up.
And so
this is the year if there's nothing this year, I want you to know, this is the end of my road with Justin Herbert going into this season.
Yep. You said that last season. You said that at moments.
I have to give Jimmy one more opportunity.
Here's my
point. To
point.
craft the team around him that allows him to look as if not look as if to achieve the levels
Here's my
that
point
I know
on-
Justin Herbert is capable of
Here's my
achieving.
point. Here's my point on bringing up Herbert in June.
God, I love this time of year.
My point is, if you were the general manager and I was assistant general manager, we would not have him on the trade block. We would not want to trade him.
Yeah.
Do I think that he is the second coming? Do I think he is great, phenomenal? Do I think he is enough to carry you to a Super Bowl? That doesn't matter. I know he is good, and I will not trade a good to average quarterback because we don't make enough good to average quarterbacks.
Yes.
Look around this league. Look at what the Cleveland Browns have been going through. Look at what the Tennessee Titans went through last season with Will Levis, right there. There's a lot of hope that somebody who is below average can get to average, or somebody average can get to good.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the average quarterback, you keep them. You just do. You don't trade them. And so that makes acquiring one of those types of quarterbacks more difficult for the Steelers, right? So Herbert or what's my man, Trevor Lawrence.
No, we're not. Trevor Lawrence is out. We're done with him.
Listen, I'm just naming average quarterbacks, right? Like nobody's going to trade those to you without you giving up an arm and a leg to get them.
Right.
So it's hard for the Steelers right now, but they've got to figure something out at that quarterback position.
I was skimming the chat, and one of the best days on Twitter that I forgot about was the Montgomery fight with the folding chairs.
Oh my gosh.
Top tier. I wasn't able to get your opinion. What's your favorite day all time on Twitter?
My favorite day all
Do you have
time.
one?
Oh man, you put me on the
I'm
spot.
sorry.
That Montgomery day.
It was a good day.
Because it happened early also, right?
Yeah, so then it had the carryover of the
I'm an
entirety.
early type dude,
Yep.
so if it pops off about, that's what made yesterday fun for
Yep.
me. If it pops off about 4 o'clock, like I can be there to participate in it. So many times everything happens far, far too late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I'd really have to sit down and think about something that you haven't already
Ray
said.
Gunn, the Australian breakdancer during the Olympics. That was a pretty good time.
That's fine. I wasn't like, I got to be, my phone is in my hand.
Yeah.
So I'll put it down for a second, but I got to pick it right back up to stay informed on what is happening here. The slap, I was asleep for the slap, but when I woke up, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, that was a great moment. For me, great moments, they happen without a whole lot of think pieces popping off. Like, I don't need think pieces on every damn thing that happens. And I think with the Miami, the Montgomery brawl, that one popped off, and it wasn't a whole lot of think pieces. It was just everybody popping off on their jokes.
Yes.
And that's why that moment was so much fun for me.
It's the emphasis of the jokes that makes everything. And to be fair, like I do think there's a difference between the best moments on Twitter and the best days.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes it's a moment just for a couple hours that captures you, but then other times it is 6+ hours makes it a day.
Okay.
In my like
That's
if
how
I
long a
am-
day is on Mercury, I do believe. It's
Like
6
if I'm
hours.
waking up the next day and thinking, God, that was a great day on the internet. It is its own special brand of entertainment.
Temecula, meet me in Temecula is a good day.
Yes.
I remember sitting at Thanksgiving and like, why are you on your phone? Like, yo, I think a dude is actually driving to Temecula to try and fight somebody over Kobe.
Yeah.
Over Kobe.
Oh, the NBA days. I mean, the hostage situation.
That's it.
Was like
That's it.
hands down
That's
one of the
the
greatest
banana
sports
boat.
moments
Chris
of all
Paul coming
time.
straight off the
Yes,
banana
that
boat
was
to
so
kidnap
funny.
DeAndre Jordan.
That was so funny.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Even when I was going back and rewatching the clips of Inside the NBA that people were posting, the day that the locker room fight with the Clippers and Chris Paul and Austin Rivers, remember that?
Yes.
That was funny. But those are different. Like those are just sports moments. Now we're blending the two. But like yesterday was between Trump and Musk, it was one of those, oh my God, this is a lightning in a bottle moment. And let's for one moment, I forget who always shares the meme where it's like, God, this is embarrassing for our country, but at least there's gonna be good content along the way. Yes. CJ, arms in the air, having a joyous moment of,
When Kanye West began to break.
oh God, no.
He had begun to break, and we did not fully grasp where this was leading to. He went on social media, he went on Twitter, and was popping off and said something along the lines of to one of these rappers, was it Wiz Khalifa? It was to somebody shut up, I own your son. And it was like, wait a second, he's not talking to you at all, Kanye. Why are you bringing this up? And it's Amber Heard's kid as well. And when Amber Heard hit him with the what's wrong, you mad cuz my fingers aren't where they usually go? 3 fingers in the da-da-da-da-da, A word, B word. Oh, that was, I doubled over with laughter. And then reading everybody's response to her calling him that and announcing that that's what he liked. So very, very good for me.
You want to know what would have been an epic day on Twitter?
What?
It just came to mind because we were talking about Mission Impossible when Tom Cruise jumped on Oprah's couch when he was with Katie Holmes, that like weirdo moment. But we didn't have Twitter then, so it was just a moment in time that was a pop culture thing. But I think of days like that where I wish that we could have had Twitter in those times.
Oh, absolutely.
And to be fair, to be clear, it is Twitter on, it's X on other days, but on days like yesterday, it's back to its roots, and it feels like the town square that we were all desperate to have in our community-less little worlds that keep getting smaller and smaller, but sometimes we all come together.
I don't know why I can't think about great Twitter moments that
because it takes something special to be great.
Outside of the ones we've named, I can't think of any. Kendrick's Super Bowl performance this year was pretty good. I wasn't really involved in Kafefe. Yeah, I can't. There were a couple of moments that happened, right? Like Ellen's picture at the Oscars or wherever the hell that was. Everybody was big into.
But see,
that
again,
didn't do anything
favorite
with me.
tweets of all time.
Okay.
Like
that wasn't a
there
moment.
are some of the best tweets of all time. It is not everybody's tweeting about one thing together as one. And it's weird. Or, like if you're the John Rothstein of the group tweeting about a random college basketball game, then like you look completely out of place because everybody else is talking about one single event that happens online. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. It is Friday. We'll do some new music Friday to get into the weekend. What we are listening to, Lil Wayne's The Carter 6 came out this morning. I had high hopes. We'll talk about it along with other new projects that dropped today, and we'll get into that weekend when we come back.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
You've seen the Grizz line jamming on the court and rocking out on Beale Street, and this is your chance to join the best drum line in the NBA. Grizz line entertains Grizz Nation at home games and events in the Mid-South through their impressive techniques and energetic shows. If you have experience in drumming and marching and love entertaining, Grizz line is the perfect opportunity for you to combine percussion and performance. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Sign up today by visiting grizzlies.com/auditions.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
What should the Grizzlies take away from this Western Conference Finals matchup?
The Grizzlies need more quality depth. Not just depth, quality depth.
Well, what the Memphis Grizzlies can learn and take away from the Western Conference Finals is you can't talk about it, you got to be about it.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
That was like a trash compactor opening.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna save those for
Or
the
like
opening.
an elevator.
We
don't have infinite.
we got a limited number of these, so we either need to do them all one day or we need to do them only for
Open's
openings.
fine.
Okay.
I'll take it as a fun, exciting way to start every show. The chat was getting us talking during the break about Memphis-specific Twitter moments, social media moments, and Rockbone. For somebody who wasn't even here during
Rockbone is an
but
incredible
learned the
moment.
lore of Rockbone within, I think, weeks of living here.
Rockbone, what an incredible moment. For those who don't know, it was a bad storm. I was here. I was at FedEx Forum. I was in Federal Express Forum. I was working at the time writing, which I'm terrible at, and got fired immediately. Shout out to Kevin Cerrito. I was doing something for a sports blog, and it had to be Kevin, or it had to be Kevin or Kelly. Somebody was like, "Hey, what's going on with this Rockbone thing?" I was like, "Rockbone?" And then they clicked the link.
It made the Daily Mail.
Yes, because it was insane.
Can I read the article?
Go ahead.
A Tennessee affiliate station has apologized for posting a link to an explicit website on Pornhub in a Tuesday tweet. The tweet from WRAG.
A random Tuesday in November, if I remember correctly. What month
October.
was it? I'm saying.
Early October.
The random month.
Early October.
Random Tuesday.
The tweet from WRAG, which has since been removed, read, "Use our interactive radar to track the rain and storms with the Pornhub link immediately below." The address for the link to the pornographic website included the username Rockbone.
So
several Twitter users then used Rockbone in hashtag Rockbone, back when we had hashtags of utmost importance, in humorous tweets. I asked him to come to bed. He said, "After I check News Channel 3 radar."
We are sitting in FedEx Forum, supposed to be working, and people are talking about rock. And so I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I click it. I'm like, oh no, I should not have clicked that, and got out of it immediately. Holy hell, that was a good time.
One Twitter user joked, "Go easy, people. Let he among us who has not accidentally screwed up something with the internet at work cast the first hashtag Rockbone." Another said, "There's a little shack near my work with always one or two guys on the porch. It's such an idyllic scene, like a Norman hashtag Rockbone painting. Everybody's talking about that sound funny, but it's still hashtag Rockbone to me." WRAG tweeted Tuesday at 5:43 a.m. "We apologize for a tweet that went out this morning." 5:43 a.m.
What year is this?
2014. 2014.
No, okay, so I'm going to try and figure out what game they were playing. So it's 2014 October.
To be fair, they played it well. At 7:51 a.m., the affiliate station tweeted, "Have you changed your passwords recently?" Oh, wait. They tried to blame it on someone hacking them? I didn't know that.
What day in October?
The 8th.
The 8th?
The 8th. October 8th, 2014. Or it might have been the 7th because the Daily Mail
It was
article is
preseason versus the Bucks.
Who was on that Bucks team?
I mean, I'm sure Giannis was there. John Lure was the leading point getter in the preseason with 11.
Do you say Giannis was there? Giannis would absolutely not have been there.
Why wouldn't Giannis be there? Giannis has been there forever. I'm
was
telling
Giannis
you,
drafted?
Giannis was there. Middleton was there.
It would have been his second year.
Starting five for the Milwaukee Bucks: Larry Sanders, Jabari Parker, Jared Dudley, Chris Middleton, Brandon Knight.
And Giannis off the bench.
Giannis coming off the bench.
Also, John Henson coming off the bench.
Hey.
Also, Zaza Pachulia coming off the bench.
All-time
Johnny
dirty player.
O'Brien III coming off the bench.
Let's go. Who's on that Grizzlies team?
Let's
of course,
see.
the core four and Quincy Pondexter.
Yeah.
John Lure, Tayshaun Prince, Kostas Koufas,
Hassan Whiteside.
Jarnell
Stokes.
I believed in Jarnell Stokes. I thought Jarnell Stokes was going to be so good.
Courtney Lee.
Nick Calathis, Jordan Adams.
Wow. What a throwback in time.
Yeah.
I cannot believe they tried to say that they got hacked.
Well, what else are you supposed to say?
And then they said, since we have your attention today, consider clicking this link and doing some good, smiley face. And the link indicated how to make donations for St. Jude, House of Muse, UNCF, MDA, United Way, and Street Dog Foundation.
Another good Twitter moment. This moment started, it might have started on Yelp and then moved to Facebook, but got to Twitter. Butthole Gate.
Yep.
The Imagine Vegan Cafe.
Yep.
That child has got to be in like 4th grade now.
That made it to Vice.
Well, yeah, no, 2017. So that child is definitely in elementary. That child might be in 2nd or 3rd grade now.
Oh my God, this is like a exercise in going back in time.
Yes,
because that was
such a good moment.
wrapping up my first year in Memphis. It was 2017, July 2017. And the Vice headline is, WTF is going on with baby butthole drama at this vegan cafe in Memphis. And the opening paragraph is, there's little that could enter the news cycle at this point and feel truly, genuinely weird. The relativity quotient of all that has happened on the internet in 2017 has rendered virtually anything believable at this point. This past weekend, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, tweeted a meme of himself body slamming an anthropomorphized CNN, and the internet peanut gallery basically did the wave and got over it in a day or two. Yesterday, Kim Kardashian's sock-selling brother let loose an inflammatory exposure of Black China on Instagram, complete with revenge porn, and the internet was back to normal in a couple hours. For perspective, it was a mere 4 years ago that Miley Cyrus's purportedly scandalous performance with Robin Thicke at the 2013 MTV VMAs launched literal weeks, even years of think pieces. Nowadays, that same showing would likely be but a blip in our daily feed of gonzo pseudo-reality. Enter Imagine Vegan Cafe. Sounds charming enough. It's family owned by a married couple. Itself describes itself as just good food in a laid-back environment on its website where comfort and compassion meet. From its menu, you can order meatless chicken and waffles or a dairy-free quesadilla. Their pie looks great, but this morning, just after East Coasters finished their first cup of watery office coffee, Twitter user @KurtOfFranklin noticed an unusual review of Imagine Vegan Cafe's Facebook page and shared it with the Twitter sphere. The review alleges that on a recent baby, quote, a bare butt-naked baby was running around and proceeded to stand on a table with its dirty, unshoed feet and show Ms. Bartley its, well, butthole.
That's what a day. What a day.
But it is so, to read the, also, 2017 President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Still doesn't seem real, does it?
And now we'll move on from yesterday and a snap. But a snap. All right, let's do a little Music Friday before we get out of here. I listened to Lil Wayne's Carter 6. I wish I had better things to say. I did like one, so I'll start with the positive. I liked his song with 2 Chainz, Cotton Candy, and I pretty much hated everything else. Like, even the songs that sample things that I thought that I would like. We were talking about in the opening segment, Island Holiday. It's terrible. The Elephant Peanut song is when I finally tapped out and said, I can't listen to any of this anymore. The beats just feel really weird. Like, I feel like I'm in a time warp. I cannot pinpoint what the time is, but even like the song with Bono, the whole thing is giving me like Imagine Dragons / weird animated movie soundtrack / video game soundtrack of a different time. Like, not right now. And it's just not good. And it really disappointed me. It made me sad.
I think it is, so far, I hadn't gotten to where you got. I think I got to Flex Up right before Island Holiday. And then we had to get stuff going for the show. And up to that point, I was like, oh, okay, something is about to happen. I was listening to it, waiting for more to happen, for something to really grip me and grab me. I think there's a song. There is a song with Big X, The Plug. Is that hip hop? Maybe it's Flex. I can't remember which one it is. But the Big X, The Plug song stood out to me. There's a song with Jelly Roll and Big Sean. I thought that song was good. There were those 2 songs that stood out to me. Bells sampling the LL Cool J Rock the Bells. I felt like that had potential to be something a bit better than what it was. The hook to it, I think, is kind of the end of the hook to it hit hard like dumbbells or something like that. I feel like that's corny and beneath Wayne to make that sort of a rhyme. If that was a bit better, I think that song would be very, very good. The flow is still there, still a tremendous flow from Lil Wayne. It's just there's something missing so far in what I've heard.
Yeah.
I'll go back because there's one, No Love in New Orleans or N.O., something like that. I can't remember. Banned from N.O. that I think is pretty good also. I have to go back and give it another listen. But so far on first listen, it's fine. It's
I
not
didn't make
not
it past
great.
Peanuts to an Elephant, but now I'm interested. There's one with Andrea Bocelli and Wyclef Jean.
John?
Yeah, I always call him Jean.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a me problem.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that.
Okay.
Did listen to two things I liked this morning. The new Glorilla song samples Keisha Cole's Love, and it's really good. Xavier Leggett is on the cover art.
Okay, so that is
Big
real.
fan. Yeah, it's real.
Okay.
It's a real thing.
Can you imagine trying to decipher what their child is saying?
No. No.
That would be the
song is
countryest
great.
ass baby.
It's got a great little rhythm to it, and appreciated that. Sabrina Carpenter's new song "Man Child" is very fun, very boppy, very feels like ABBA / Shania Twain / Dolly Parton. There's a little countryness to it, but I like it.
I don't know why I love Sabrina Carpenter so much.
She's a bop machine.
I love her.
Yes.
That's my pop princess.
And
right
I also
now.
love that she came out with it. She made a joke about yesterday that it came out at the perfect time because we were listening to some man-children, I guess would be the plural, men in leadership positions.
Well, listen,
once again
it is
proving that men are too emotional to lead.
Here we go with those stereotypes, Jessica.
You know, sometimes stereotypes come for a reason.
Right in the middle of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yep.
Like, come on, man.
Yep.
Come on. Let these men express themselves and let them have feelings. Men can have feelings too. Men feel too, Jessica. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You should learn how to process those big feelings better.
Don't patronize us, Jessica.
Everybody has big
The
feelings.
matriarchy is out of control.
We are.
You guys need to be stopped.
They're trying. They're trying.
Not hard enough, clearly.
One thing, last week you asked me about the new Miley Cyrus album, and I kind of poo-pooed it.
Yes.
I ended up going back and listening to it. It's great. I think it's fantastic. Have you listened to it?
No, I'm not into Miley Cyrus.
No, but it's not normal Miley Cyrus.
I know if I listen to it, I'm not going to like it.
I'm not 100% sure. It's very different. I'm not saying you will like it, but you won't not like it because it sounds like normal Miley Cyrus. I think it's the most artistic reach or experiment that she's done yet. And it completely blew my expectations, especially the second half of the album, coming out of, there's interludes in it, and coming out of interlude 2, if you skip the beginnings, the singles, I don't think there's a single hit on the album, I'll put it this way. But I think in the entirety of the album, it's a very good album, which is cool, which is a cool place for an artist to get to where they're just making music that they like.
Yet last week, I sent that album in.
Yeah, I didn't want to listen to it.
You're like, oh, get that out of here.
Honestly, I
Stop
didn't like the
stereotyping me,
single.
CJ.
I didn't like the single.
Get out of here. Now you listen
came
to it,
back.
just casual hair flip.
I came back.
Just rub that in my face.
You want to know what women can do? Admit when we're wrong. Just ask us.
That's because y'all are wrong all
We're
the
great
time.
at it. We're able to come in and say, I made a mistake. The album's great. I highly recommend it. I've mostly just been listening to Broadway albums to get ready for the Tonys. This is my Super Bowl.
When are the Tonys?
Sunday!
Jessica, I'm sorry.
At the same time as Game 2.
What's on the
I'm
big
gonna have to
TV?
two-screen it. The Tonys, please. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Luke,
Are you
clip
kidding
it.
me?
Luke, clip
The
it.
Tonys are on the big TV. Chris doesn't know this yet. The game is on the small TV. I am watching I am watching the greatest. Forget Game 2. That's not an elimination game. This is the biggest Best Actress race in my Tony memory between Audra McDonald and Nicole Scherzinger.
Who's winning?
Nicole has my vote. I'll be genuinely upset if Nicole doesn't win. Okay. And I love Audra McDonald. I think the nice thing to do would be give Gypsy Best Revival and give Nicole Best Actress. But if Audra wins, you can't deny it. That'd be her 7th Tony. She already holds the record. She doesn't need another one, but she always deserves more. I just think Nicole was a generational performance. Ugh. We'll be back on Monday.
To talk about what?
To talk about the Tonys. You just wait. I'm going to tell you everything that you missed. this year's Tony Awards. Does Patti LuPone come? They tried to write a letter to make her banned from the Tonys, and then she wrote an apology.
Patti LuPone is there.
They're doing a Hamilton reunion performance for the first time.
But
the
everybody's
original
not
cast.
in it. One person's not in it.
I think everybody's coming for the Tonys. Not
Okay.
everybody's coming for they're doing a whole show
Okay.
on Broadway. They're doing a tribute performance on the Tonys.
Okay.
Oh my God, I can't wait. All right, we'll be back on a Monday. Have a great weekend. I have something to live for. We'll see you then. Bye.
I hadn't seen you smile like that.
I'm so excited.